there's a hard truth many gardeners eventually discover. You can shovel compost, turn piles endlessly, invest in fancy bins, and still wonder why your soil isn't improving the way everyone promises. Meanwhile, the quiet corner of your garden where fallen leaves and old roots break down naturally seems richer, darker, and more alive than the beds you've worked so hard to feed. That's the secret most gardeners eventually wake up to. Compost, while useful, is massively overrated when compared to nature's slow, steady, underground magic. Once you see how soil really builds itself in a natural system, dumping compost starts to feel like forcing a shortcut that never fully replaces the real thing. Walk into a thriving forest. There are no compost tumblers, no layered piles heating up, no gardeners turning and watering organic scraps. Yet under your feet lies the richest soil on the planet, humus so spongy and alive it practically breathes. You know, nature builds soil right where it's needed, not in a separate bin. Microbes, fungi, earthworms, and insects slowly consume organic matter exactly where it falls. This is called in-place decomposition, and it's what gardeners should be copying if they truly want sustainable, living soil, rich in long-lasting organic matter. Traditional composting, especially hot composting, skips nature's slow process entirely. Fast heat-based breakdown burns off carbon, drives off nutrients, and leaves you with short-term fertility. It feeds plants for a moment, but not the soil long-term. No wonder many gardeners say, "I add compost every season and still struggle with soil structure." You're feeding crops, not your soil ecosystem. Compost breaks down fast once added to soil. Great for a burst of nutrients, sure, but not so great for long-lasting soil building. Fresh compost is like a fast snack. Natural humus from slow decomposition is a full, balanced meal. When you mimic nature's natural decay, mulch plant residues, roots, leaf litter, you create long-lasting soil carbon, stable humus, living fungal networks, moisture-holding structure, and thriving soil micro-communities. That's why forests never need fertilizer. The soil is fed slowly, continuously, and biologically. Most gardeners rake leaves away like trash. Big mistake. Leaves are nature's fertilizer, mulch, and microbial buffet all in one. Each fall, trees drop millions of tons of future soil organic matter. You know, in-place leaf mulch really nurtures fungal networks that deliver nutrients right to the roots. It also supports worms that aerate the soil and create those valuable castings. Plus, it encourages the formation of soil aggregates that naturally improve the structure of your garden beds. Meanwhile, compost piles can lose up to half their carbon as carbon dioxide during decomposition. That's energy, honestly, that your soil never gets to see. The same principle applies to your garden plants. When you pull up roots after harvest, you're actually removing those underground carbon highways that microbes were using, but when you chop and drop instead, those roots decay slowly right in the soil, feeding beneficial fungi exactly where they live. This isn't theory, folks. It's how ecosystems work. Every root you see leaks sugars and compounds into the soil to feed microbes. This process is known as root exudation, and it builds soil more effectively than any compost pile can. The longer living roots occupy the soil, well, the better your soil becomes. Cover crops, perennials, and even leaving roots in the ground after harvesting annuals, they really turbocharge soil life. If you want black, crumbly, alive soil, you need life growing in it as long as possible, not just dumping compost once in a while. Where compost can sometimes overwhelm soil biology with half-digested matter, plant-based microbial teas stimulate microbes already present and help plants feed themselves more efficiently. Gardeners who switch from heavy compost to light biological feeding often see dramatic improvement in soil texture and plant vigor. Here's a simple, powerful recipe to activate soil life: fermented plant juice, or FPJ, for soil activation. You'll need 1 kilogram of fresh green plant material, like weeds, young leaves, or grass clippings, and 500 grams of brown sugar. Mix these together and pack them tightly in a jar. Make sure to cover the jar loosely. let it ferment for 7 days, then strain the liquid. For use, dilute 2 tablespoons of FPJ in 5 liters of water. Go ahead and apply this weekly to your soil or foliage. You're not dumping nutrients, you are stimulating the system. Skip the obsession with turning piles and start working with nature, not against it. Let organic matter break down right on the soil surface. Feed soil fungi by leaving roots in place. Grow cover crops instead of leaving soil bare. And use fermented liquids to wake up microbial life. Suddenly, you move from being a soil carrier to, well, a soil creator. Nature rebuilds soil every day without us. We just need to, stop interrupting and start participating. Here's what to do instead of relying on compost. Keep soil covered at all times with natural mulch or living plants. Leave roots in the ground after harvest. Add chopped leaves and grass as surface mulch. Grow cover crops whenever beds are empty. Apply biological teas, like fermented plant juice or worm casting tea. And let fungi, not heat, do the work. You'll build soil faster, deeper, and more sustainably than any compost pile can promise. Your garden doesn't need a wheelbarrow of compost every season, it needs a functioning ecosystem. Compost has its place. It kickstarts young gardens, rescues poor soil, and recycles kitchen scraps, but relying on it alone misses the point. Nature doesn't compost in piles. She composts in place, in layers, slowly, steadily, supported by life, not heat and turning. If you want true soil fertility, follow nature's blueprint: living roots, surface mulch, fungi-driven decay, and steady biological feeding. Your garden will become almost self-fertilizing, your soil will get darker every season, and you'll spend more time harvesting, less time hauling compost around.